kind of disrepute. I do know that all the people of Galilee were looked upon with a little contempt by the people of Judea. They didn't speak the same language as they did, but apparently these people they didn't think very highly of the people of Nazareth. And when you tell them now, this is the one, this is Jesus of Nazareth, he's the Messiah that Moses talked about, there's going to be a little doubt in your mind, probably.
It's probably like people saying they're prophets today.
That's exactly right. We don't believe people today. Of course, we got good evidence why we don't do that, because we realize that's in ages past. But still, but the response is always, well, just come and see. You know, if you don't believe something, the best thing you can do is do what? Check it out for yourself. Yeah, you go get you a first-hand look and a listen. Come and see for yourself. And so, if people would come and see while keeping an open mind, if Nathaniel will have an open mind and he'll come and really search out Philip's claim, then he's going to find out what? You know, we as the people of Christ, we ought to invite and encourage all people of other beliefs and practices to come and see in the light of the Bible. We have nothing to hide, nothing to fear. The truth is the truth. We ought to be ready to accept any type of question offered as to why we do what we do. Come and see. See whether it's right or wrong. And, you know, Isaiah, in Isaiah 1:18, he said, come now and let us reason together. Let us think about this. And so, but I'm going to tell you, a person must possess an open mind. A person must be willing to investigate and examine what he finds objectively. But if you find a person like that, most of the time that person will be a believer, because he will have looked at the truth objectively, examined with an open mind, and willing to accept the truth contained therein. 47. Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him, saith of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. Now, Jesus breaks down any prejudice that Nathanael had. Jesus describes his true condition. Our Lord states, this man is a true Israelite, and in him resides no guile. Now, his friends could know that he was a true Israelite, but they could not know positively that he was entirely of that type of deception. But Jesus knew that trait absolutely. Now, Jesus did not know these facts by personal contact with Nathanael. Jesus is speaking by what? By his divine power. This man is an Israelite, and he doesn't have any deception in him. Nathanael said unto him, the Lord now, he said, whence knowest thou me? John 1:48. Whence knowest thou me? Jesus answered and said unto him, before that Philip called thee, when thou wast under the fig tree, I saw thee. Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi, thou art the Son of God. Thou art the King of Israel. Now let me tell you something. Nathanael knew that he had never met or seen Jesus before. He wanted to know how Jesus could know these things. Before Philip had invited him, Christ had seen him with this man under a fig tree. Nathanael, under that fig tree, had an experience which only he and a divine person could have known. Now, we're not told what that was, but Nathanael knew what it was. And the knowledge that Jesus had of that particular event was enough to firmly convince Nathanael that this is who? This is Jesus of Nazareth. This is the Messiah. This is the Christ. He says, Rabbi, that word rabbi means what? We're told just a few verses ago. Master. Rabbi, Master, thou art the Son of God. Thou art the King of Israel. Open mind, evidence is presented unto him. He does what? He responds positively. He is now in complete agreement with Philip. He was doubting whether Philip was true. But now, after he does what Philip said do what? Come and see. He has went and he saw, and now what? Full agreement. Jesus answered unto him, because I said unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree, believest thou? Thou shalt see greater things than these. You know, we say in our language, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ain't that what Jesus just told him? That's what Jesus just told him. You believe because I knew and I know about that fig tree experience, but you ain't seen nothing yet. There are going to be greater things to happen. And you think about as he would travel with Jesus, all the great miracles he must have saw. As a matter of fact, when John ends this after a while, in John chapter 20, he's going to say, and many other signs and wonders truly did Jesus in the presence of his disciples, which are not recorded in this book. I wonder what all Jesus must have done. He opines that he supposed that if everything the Lord had done was written down in the book, the world itself could not contain the book. Jesus was busy. But you ain't seen nothing yet, Nathaniel. And by the way, he becomes an apostle. And on Acts chapter 2, the events there, he enjoys all of that, right? 51. And he said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter ye shall see heaven open, and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Now that statement is figurative, obviously. It is a reference to the opening of heaven by Christ to men against whom is closed by sin. That's the thing Jacob dreamed about in Genesis chapter 28. Jesus gave us that in reality. Nathanael longed for it, but Jesus, by his death upon the cross, made it a reality. There's going to be a day in which heaven is going to be opened up. And when heaven's opened up, there are going to be a lot of favors on that day for sure. Anything else? Let's see on John chapter 1. I guess you realize we're getting the list of the apostles given to us. For their list in the entirety, you had to go to Matthew, to Mark, to Luke. You don't get them in John, but you do in Acts chapter 1. You can get all the names of these apostles. And we know them, Peter, Andrew, James, and John. Philip and who? Doubting Thomas and Matthew. James, the son of Alphaeus. Simon also. Thaddeus. The 12th apostle, Judas made. And what happened? And Jesus was by him betrayed. And the lot, by the way, the lot was thrown, and the lot fell upon who? Matthias. And so he took the place of Judas, if you will, when it was all said and done. Anything on John chapter 1? You're going to get about 5 minutes early because I'm not going to start John chapter 2. Simply too much. Too much to even get started in John chapter 2. And I really want us to take our time in John chapter 2 and really think about and understand, especially the wedding feast. Because Anytime anything about alcohol is mentioned, you're going to have it thrown up in your face over and over that Jesus turned water into wine. There's no doubt, by the way, that Jesus turned water to wine. The question has always been the kind of wine it was. And I hope you understand that there's a lot of wine that is non-intoxicating. As a matter of fact, the juice of the fruit would be referred to as wine in Bible times. And, we just today, we say grape juice, apple juice, prune juice, whatever. But it in itself as a wine, it's just a juice. And so, but I want you to see what Jesus did and some things going on there as he addresses his mother and what his mother must have thought. Because the first thing she does, and think about this as I wrap things up. Jesus and his mother are guests at this wedding feast, right? Why is his mother, first of all, why is Mama concerned about the host running out of wine? Why is she concerned about it? It's not her party. She ain't the one going to be looked upon ill or disfavorably because there's not enough drink there for your guests. Why is she worried about it? And Jesus is going to say, woman, what has this to do for me? How is that my concern? And we'll discuss that answer he gave her, Ralph, and why he might have told her what he told her there on that occasion. But anyway, I hope you'll be reading in John chapter 2 and ready for our lesson next Sunday morning. Thank you for your attention.